I'd like to call the regular scheduled meeting of the Kingston City Council. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand. Mr. Quinn will give us the invocation. Mr. Childs will lead us in the pledge.
Heavenly Father, God, thank you for what a beautiful day we have. Lord, just be with us as we meet and make all the right decisions for the citizens of Kingston. Father, be with those who are hurting. We'll give you praise and glory in Jesus' name.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Bradwell.
Here.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Present.
Councilmember Childs.
Present.
Councilmember Gwynn.
Present.
Councilmember Johnson.
Present.
Councilmember Wright. Present. Mayor Hill.
Present. Do you hear a motion to approve the previous minutes as written? Motion by Mr. Windsor, second. Second, Mr. Childs. Any corrections or deletions to the minutes?
I'd like to make to move an amendment.
Not right now.
Okay.
Anything else on the minutes? Please call the roll and approve the minutes.
Councilmember Bradwell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Yes.
Councilmember Childs.
Yes.
Councilmember Gwynn.
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson.
Yes.
Councilmember Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Hill.
Aye. Now it's time to set aside for any citizens' comments. First on the agenda, we have Brian Walker will be coming from the Executive Director of Roane County 911.
Thank you, guys. Excuse me. Those, I think I've met everybody. My name's Brian Walker. I'm the director down at the 911 Center. I want to thank Mr. Brown. He's on my board, and the opportunity to talk to you guys, kind of tell you a little bit about this. It's something that's been kind of in the works, being able to text 911. It's been in the works for a while. We've actually been able to have the ability to do it, but it was something we hadn't really talked about because not all the cellular carriers were able to do it, so we're kind of waiting until everybody was on board. A little bit about it, you guys, I handed a piece of paper there. I'm not going to go into all the detail, but think about 911 when you go to text, it's just like any other thing. It takes a little bit longer to do. It takes a little bit longer to respond, but it's perfect, or unfortunately we have to have it for not only for the deaf or hearing impaired. It's definitely a key component to that, but it also, if you're in a situation, someone's breaking in your house, you're not sure what to say, how to say it. We get domestic text on this. We've had some where a car accident and they can't get to speak to the phone, but they got it set up where it'll text while they're driving or whatever. We've seen kind of some different things that we have seen it for. Fortunately, a couple that I know, for examples, one of them that we had was, fortunately, it was not a true 911 emergency, but we had a young lady, a juvenile, that had texted in, said she was being held against her will. Due to the way the text came in, we were able to get the longitude, latitude, we were able to put it in our system and track it to a house in Rockwood. Come to find out, a young lady was grounded, had her phone taken away from her. She got a tablet that had Wi-Fi and was texting from it because she wanted to go back to Mama's, who was going to give her phone back. So fortunately, it was not a bad incident. We did have one with a young man who was threatening suicide. He would not talk. We try, anytime the text come in with 911, to kind of let you know how that goes. You text 911 just like you text anybody else. And as soon as you do it, some carriers, what we have seen when we've been testing this is, some of the carriers will give you a prompt message that says you've reached Roane County E911, what's your emergency. Some will not, most don't. What it does in our office is it alarms, just like it's a different tone than what the phone calls are. And it pops up on the screen, and we answer it just like it would pop up on our dispatcher's screen, just like a 911 call would. And then we're able to communicate with them. One thing that's important that we're trying to make sure everybody understands is, obviously, calling 911 is by far the best for us and for your emergency if you're able to. One, because with our dispatchers, we've got some pretty good trained dispatchers, and what they hear outside of the actual phone conversation is important for the first responder. However, if you can't, then the text is the next best thing. We ask that people, text in plain talk. My dispatchers are taught not to use the emojis and the short abbreviations because it means something different to everybody else. All our texting, all the texts that come in are all recorded. So everything's recorded and saved if we do need them for some kind of court document or something like that. So all that comes in. Unfortunately, right now, and we're testing, I've got to get with our language, because right now, if you call in, we don't have anybody that speaks fluent and informed, so we just transfer those calls to a call taker that is fluent. I've got to test that and see with our call takers if we can do, right now, the only thing I know we can do is English. We're working on to see what we can do to see how that has to work. It's just something new that we're working through. Typically what you'll get when you text is it'll be a conversation. We just encourage everybody to kind of follow the instructions just like they would if it was a 911 call. At the end of the call, what usually happens, and so far I've seen this is pretty much any carrier has been this way, is it will let you know when we disconnect. We actually tested it the other day just to see how long it would stay up, and it's quite a while that it'll stay active on our side if there's no response. And the reason is, unlike the 911, if you call 911 and hang up, we can usually try to call you back. With texting 911, depending on what your phone is, we may not be able to text you back. It won't always give us that information, because it doesn't always give us the phone number. It just gives us that it's a text, depending on the carrier and all that. So those are things, as far as I know, other than, it's just like a cell phone. So if you don't have, if you got 911 only, I think you can still text with it as far as they've told us. The other thing is if you have, if you're texting off of a Wi-Fi service, it'll work. But if you don't have, if you got a cell service that doesn't have text messaging available, then it's obviously, there's still, you have to have that plan in order to text, from what I understand. You guys have any questions that I can try to answer for you?
When you do the, you said some of you wasn't able to text back too. Once you text him, will it still give you the,
Whenever as soon as it comes in, it gives us it'll start giving us information. One thing I will say, and we're still testing this to see how it does on everybody's, but there was a thing that came out a while back on smartphones, and if you go into like the iPhones, I know, and I think some of the Androids, if you go in there and put your emergency contact information, like your name, your information in there, some of that stuff will generate in the 911. Again, it's kind of a new to the phone companies as well, so it doesn't do it to all of them. But if you put in there like your emergency contact and your different things, like I know, like you put in there like if you're diabetic, so if you're in a car accident and something happens, it'll notify us of that. Some of that does show up in there. That is in the first call. Sometimes when we text back, it just depends on, here again, what kind of carrier they have. Like today, we tested, before I came down here, I had a couple of questions, so I had them text and practice. One of them was text, and it was a little bit of a delay. Another one text, and it hit real quick. So that's why we say it's, give us, and typically when you text, you're going to get a response. Like I said, if it's not automated, it will let us know, and you're going to get what's the location of your emergency. They're going to start asking those questions. It's just as if you call 911.
All right, thank you. That's a good enhancement for our service in Rowan County.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to address the council tonight?
Hi, I'm Calissa Jester. I'm with the Rowan Chamber, and I gave you some papers. I just want to take a few minutes of time just to highlight that we had a couple of ribbon cuttings since I was here last with J&E Studios, it's a dance studio, and Nitschke's Hometown Bakery. And we have a new member that's from Kingston. I don't think they're a new business to Kingston, but it's Farmers Insurance, the Colton Insurance Agency. I just want to bring to your attention, just on the tourism end of it, that the Kingston Food Truck Rallies are getting ready to start, and the dates are there for you. Each week they have something new. For instance, on the first one is First Responders Night, but they're trying something new this time. They're not going to be 4 weeks in a row. They're going to be on 1 week, off a week, on 1 week. It just seems like that whenever they get started and just get rolling, that then they were gone. So they're going to try this method. So that's about all I have to report. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to address the council tonight? Seeing none, we're going to reports. Start with Ms. Johnson. Do you have anything to report tonight?
Johnson, aye.
Ms. Ryder? Mr. Brown?
No.
Mr. Quinn?
No.
Mr. Jones?
Well, I'm the only one that's gonna say anything tonight probably, but this is my last council meeting. It's been great. Y'all been good working with. March 31st will be my last day as a councilman. Turn on my stuff in on April 1st, April Day. But, learned a lot from working with everybody and really appreciate it.
Mr. Brett, we have anything? I don't think you have anything either, so I'll turn it over to Mr. Bowman.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple things here. First of all, Councilmember Childs, thank you for your service. It's been a pleasure to work with you. So hopefully we'll still see you around. So don't be a stranger. One thing you saw, I'm sure, my email about the STP project and the problems we were having there. I think I copied everybody but the president on that, and I'm just happy to report that it worked. And we've been getting very prompt service on that. We're in the process of setting up a weekly progress meeting, which will start next week. And we've got more communication on that in the last couple of days than we've had in the last couple of months. So hopefully that will be moving forward in a positive way. Another thing, happy to report that our property tax revenue today, we finally went in the black. So we have met our projection for the year and still have about $155,000 in taxes outstanding. So that will just continue going. But very, very happy that for those of us who obsess over the budget, this is an important day. So happy to see that. The other thing I was just going to mention, and city attorney can certainly expand on this if he wants to, but he did inform me today that the suit has been filed on 500 North Kentucky Street. So happy to see that moving forward as well. And Andrew, I don't know if you have anything to expand on that, but we're glad to see that. That's all I have. Unless you have any questions.
The lawsuit has been filed, but it's currently out for service by the Jerome County Sheriff's Department. I'll update council once I have service back on that.
Any questions for the city manager? Seeing none, item 7, addition of items of any agenda received after the close of the agenda deadline. We did not receive any. There is no unfinished business, so we'll go into 9, new business. Item 8 is consideration and appropriation not to exceed $1.2 million from undesignated fund balance for paving and striping of streets as through manhole and various risers in contingency. Do you have a motion for this appropriation?
I make the motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Childs, second by Mr. Quinn. Anyone have anything?
Yes. I'd like to move to attend the amount to appreciate amount of not to exceed more than $33,000 for the undecided fund balance from the replacement of a water line, installment of a irrigation meter, and improvements to the Kingston, to the kitchen and at the community center.
Okay, so we have an amendment. Is there a second on the amendment?
Second.
Second by Mr. Quinn. We'll vote on the amendment. Since it's something we need to talk about Tuesday night, I'll turn it over to Mr. Hamilton to explain to us about what the water lines are going to do for us.
Thank you, Mayor. So what this is going to do is we've had some leaks at the community center and everything like that, and it's caused a lot of high bills. So with this, putting this line in, they will be designated on an irrigation meter only, so there'll be no sewer charges on that. And with this, they will actually be getting 2 lines into that building. One brand new line that's, I'm guessing somewhere probably around 40 years old, that will supply that building, and then it'll be a whole totally separate line for the pool itself. But this should help bring the cost of those bills down, new lines, everything like that, so that pool will have its own individual meter.
Mr. Bell.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I just want to point out apologize for not having this at the workshop last week. We didn't have all the information ready. We got all the estimates today. And one thing I will add to what Kevin said, a positive on this is with the pool going on the irrigation meter, the savings that we'll have off not paying sewer to fill that up, we'll pay for every bit of this. So this is much needed work and will definitely pay for itself.
Probably something that should have been done quite a long time.
Correct.
Are any other questions on the amendment? Clerk, Mr. Brown, I'm sorry.
If it pays for all of it, how long does it take to pay for it? And all I'm doing is looking at that to be less revenue from the water side. Is that over how many years are we looking?
I'd have to look to see what the sewer bill is when the pool's filled up, but I can get that information.
But
back
it
to
would
you.
be several years over there. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
$33,000 out of this year's budget.
No, it'll take a few years, but it will pay for itself.
Thank you.
Anything else on the amendment? Madam Clerk, call the roll on the amendment, please.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Gwynn,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Danner.
Aye. So now the motion will be to add that amendment to it. Is there any discussion on the original motion about the paving that we've got set aside for this year?
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, Mr. Ball.
I was just a point of clarification. We had originally talked in the workshop about $1 million. I did increase that to $1.2 million. As you see here, you should have in front of you the estimate that we received from Rogers Group. We also added money in there for striping, which was approximately $20,000, and another $20,000 or so for manholes and water valves. And so this will do all of that and leave a little bit of extra money for contingency. So I just want to explain what the difference was.
And this will be paving 26 streets inside the city, which is, how many miles did we come up with on that?
Close to 8 miles, lead, so
Okay, so over 7 miles of paving in the city. Any questions on the paving? Madam Clerk, call the roll on the motion, please.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Gwynn,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Danner.
Aye.
Thank you.
Item B is consideration of appropriation not to exceed $80,000 for the undesignated fund balance for the purchase of a new rescue truck for the fire department. This is also something we discussed Tuesday night. Do you hear a motion for this appropriation?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Quinn, second by Mr. Childs. Mr. Quinn?
It's David.
Mr. Childs?
Take about $100-something.
That's it. Council members? Seeing no other discussion, Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Gwynn,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Item C is consideration to adopt a new logo for the city of Kingston. And I think Kelly's got all the logos she put in there that we're going to do. So do I hear a motion on the logo?
I'll make the motion.
Ms. Wright, is there a second?
I say.
Mr. Bradley, Ms. Wright.
Nothing, sir.
Mr. Rick? Anything for council? And clerk, call roll on the new logo.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Gwynn,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Danner.
Aye. Item D is consideration to approve the first reading of ordinance 2403-1201, an ordinance revising the comprehensive codification and revision of the 2023 personnel rules and regulations of the city of Kingston. Do you hear a motion for this first reading?
Make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Childs? Anything?
No.
Mr. Childs? Council members? Madam Clerk, call the roll on the first reading, please.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Gwynn,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Danner.
Aye. Item E is consideration to approve the first reading of ordinance 2303-1202, an ordinance amending the annual budget for the city of Kingston, Tennessee for fiscal year 2023-24. Do you hear a motion for this first reading?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Wright, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Johnson. Ms. Wright, any questions?
Nothing, sir.
I think everything that was on that was in our packet for this month. Ms. Johnson, you didn't?
No.
Councilman? Madam Clerk, call roll on the first reading, please.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs.
Yes.
Councilmember Wynn,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Danner.
Item F is consideration to approve the first reading of ordinance 2403-1203, an ordinance amending the annual budget for the city of Kingston, Tennessee Water and Sewer Fund for fiscal year 23-24. Do you hear a motion for this first reading?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Wynn, second by Mr. Brennan. Mr. Wynn? Mr. Redmond? Council? Madam Clerk, call roll, please.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Wynn,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Danner.
Item G is consideration to approve the first reading of ordinance 2403-1204, an ordinance to abolish ordinance 410-12-2, an ordinance to establish a driver safety course and cease offering in-person driving school through the Kingston Police Department. Hear a motion for this first reading.
Make motion.
Mr. Childs, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Wright. Mr. Childs, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Ms. Wright?
I do not.
I think Chief Marshall explained pretty well Tuesday night what was going on with that. So
Yes, this will enable people who want to take driving school online and will reduce our expenditures in providing that course.
Council, anything else? Madam Clerk, call roll on that first reading.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Wynn,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Danner.
Item H is consideration to approve request by Jason Taylor, close West Cumberland Street from Johnson Street to Baton Ferry Road on April 27th, from 1 to 6, for a car show. We have a motion to approve the closure of this road. Motion by Mr. Quinn, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Bradley. Mr. Quinn? Mr. Redmond? Do you know what is the car show for?
Usually that's it for individual.
Yeah, I didn't know what.
I don't know what he's done this time.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
I've heard.
It's a cruise for a cause, but we didn't say. Probably more will come out.
Yeah.
Anything from council? Madam Clerk, call roll, please.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Wynn,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Danner.
Aye. Consideration to accept the resignation of Councilmember Randy Childs. Do you hear a motion to accept his resignation?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Reluctantly, I'll second.
Again, thank you, Councilmember Childs, for the service you've done in the city. We're going to miss you because you helped do a good job. We had a lot of things accomplished in these years that you've been here. Madam Clerk, call roll to accept the resignation.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Same. Yes.
Councilmember Wynn,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Danner.
Aye. That being the end of the agenda, this meeting is adjourned. So now we'll go into the regular meeting of the Kingston Beer Board. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll for Beer Board, please?
Member Bradwell,
Here.
Vice Chair Brown,
Present.
Member Childs,
Here.
Member Wynn,
Here.
Member Johnson,
Present?
Member Wright.
Present.
Present. Do you hear a motion to approve the previous minutes as read?
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Brett will say Mr. Childs. See no correction of the allegiance. Wasn't much in last month's meeting either. Madam Clerk, call the roll on the minutes.
Member Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Chair Brown,
Yes.
Member Childs,
Yes.
Member Wynn,
Yes.
Member Johnson,
Yes.
Member Wright.
Yes.
Aye. No business on the agenda tonight. Is there anything to come before the Beer Board? Yes, sir. We'll go straight into the meeting of Kingston Water Board. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Member Bradwell,
Here.
Vice Chair Brown,
Present.
Member Childs,
Present.
Member Quinn,
Present.
Member Johnson,
Present?
Member Wright,
Present.
Chairman Henry.
Present. Do I hear a motion to approve the previous minutes as written?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Gwynn, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Johnson. See any correction, deletion of the minutes? Madam Clerk, call the roll on the previous minutes.
Member Breville,
Yes.
Vice Chair Brown,
Yes.
Member Childs,
Yeah.
Member Gwynn,
Yes.
Member Johnson,
Yes.
Member Wright,
Yes.
Chairman Henry.
Aye. Now we set aside time for citizens, or any citizens wishing to come before the water board tonight. Okay. Seeing none, we'll go on the utility director's report. Mr. Hamilton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Real light tonight. Just want to give y'all some good news. Weather and the beautiful sunshine that we've been having, we've been able to start some patching today. So hopefully, before long, we'll be able to get all that knocked out. The water department and street department sort of joined forces, and we're going, hopefully for the rest of the week, that's going to be our main focus. So we'll be getting a lot of patching done and road cuts. But that's all I have for y'all tonight. If y'all have anything?
Mr. Bowden.
Just one thing, Mayor, of course, you have our written report submitted. One thing I do want to point out in that, one of you called me last month a little alarmed when you saw that our line loss was 31%. Of course, that was a result of all the leaks we had after the winter storm. Just happy to point out that that's back down to the 14% where it belongs. So just wanted to point that out, and that's all I have.
I know a lot of utilities would like to have 14%.
Absolutely.
30.
Definitely.
Any questions for Mr. Bowden and Mr. Hamilton? Seeing none, there's nothing on new business. Is there anything else to come before the water board tonight? Seeing none, this means adjourned.